Now, this was new to me. Honestly, very new. I feel like sometimes we have the thought of what it is, but we don't have a coined phrase for it. And I think this particular article has led me to believe that, yeah, there actually is a coined phrase for everything nowadays. So, four types of romantic partners, right? And I think generally you know the feeling, you know the experience, you know the relationship that you're in or that you were in. And oftentimes we get to that point where you have one of a few feelings when you leave a relationship. One, damn, they were way too good for me. I could never have managed to be with them. Or the other one where you're like, wow, I was way too good for them. I mean, what was I even thinking dating that person? Or the other people who are just like, Akiwaye, I know like I could have done better if they gave me a chance. And then the other one who is like, I know they could have done a lot better, but I didn't want to give them a chance. So oftentimes we find ourselves in that spectrum of emotions where you either feel like you did too much or you did too little. You either feel like you were the victim, or you feel like they were the perpetrator, and that stands. And honestly, there is no lie. Ultimately, you just need to know who you fell in love with, decide that this is a person you want to be with, and continue on in that space. We've all seen the situations where you met someone, they were really, really awesome. They had all the things that you wanted out of a relationship, but they just always felt like something's off here. Like it's not the attraction is there, everything is there, but it just feels very unstable. It feels very lacking in terms of your needs and your wants being met. And that is the type of romantic partner who we call the tourist. Now, this is someone the incapable tourist, where oftentimes there's really nothing really wrong with the relationship. All is well most of the time. You guys are happy, you're living your best lives, but it always feels like something's off. Like it always feels like but I wish they did, but I wish they could see that this, but I hope that at some point they discover that I am. But there's so many buts in your relationship, and it always feels like they look like they can do it, but they never actually get to doing it. They never actually get to feeling you with love. They never actually get to committing to you in the way that you want them to commit. They never actually get to the point where, yeah, it always feels like you're the one who wants them and they don't want you. So that's the incapable tourist. If that's you felt that before, just know that it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Nothing you could have done, said, applied would have worked. They never really chose you. So you needed to have left either way.
Exactly. And then we have these other romantic partners who we call the devoted tryhard. As in, they are so devoted to you. They are ride and or die. They will be with you even when you're not with them. They are always there, and they give the sense of, I am dependable. You can always count on me. It's those people who mostly end up in the friend zone 9 times out of 10, because they're always there. They are consistent with you. They have shown that they love you. They want to be with you. They are very direct. It is you I want, and I will be here until the day you accept me. However, they have very lacking qualities. As in, yes, they are good to you. They will move mountains for you, but they are alcoholics, or they're emotionally closed off, they're emotionally unavailable, or it's always something. They have a very huge thing about them that is lacking, especially if it was to be in a relationship, but otherwise they are a very good person. So these are the people you probably will get married to, because they showed you that they will go to such lengths for you, but they have this gaping problem about them, and you don't know if you're supposed to overlook it, or if you're supposed to try and fix them, or if you're supposed to try and ignore it and just the good outweighs the bad. It's such a situation. But the problem is, when you get into a relationship with such a person, you feel so unfulfilled, because yes, they are good, yes, they are excellent, but hey, mtu anakunywanga sana, or they just do something weird. So I would not recommend, regardless of the fact that they are very good. That one thing that they're very bad at, if it's something that you cannot put up with, just don't get into an involvement with them.
There's one that annoys the living daylights out of me. You met this guy, you were very in love, and somehow they just never were able to. It's like you've asked for the same thing, commit, 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 and they never give that to you. And then you're like, of course they're not capable of it. And you're like, I'm done with this relationship. I'm going to leave you because you clearly can't love anyone and all of that. And then after you've broken up with them, 2 months later, 6 months later, they are in a fully committed relationship. In fact, he just proposed and they're getting married next week. And you're like, was it me? Did I do something? Was I a problem? And some of us call them the white whale or the one that got away. Because it always feels like they were perfect. There's nothing about them that was wrong, really. There's nothing about them that you could have said that, oh yeah, that person was toxic, that person was incapable of, that person was da 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 da. If you wanted love, they would be there for you. If you wanted to go out on dates, they would be there for you. Sometimes they were even that amazing friend who you were friends with for a long time, and you've seen other relationships that they've been in, and you're like, wow, that is definitely who I want to be in a relationship with. Them in every other relationship but yours are the perfect partner. But somehow when it comes to you, they just don't fully want to be there. They don't fully want to commit to you. And immediately after you're done, they have committed completely to someone else. And it always feels like, man, I wish. When you see them with other people, it's just like, that could have been me. They've just bought their new girlfriend a brand new car, and you're like, that should have been my car. You know, they've just flew them out to vacation in the Maldives. You're like, that could have been my vacation if only I stuck around, if only I pushed a little further, if only I held down the fort. But the truth of the matter is, it's just exactly that. It's an almost fantasy. It will never be fulfilled. It will always remain in potential. That person was never meant for you. They will probably never ever be yours. And even if they're yours, they will never fully feel like they are yours. It will always feel like you've borrowed them. They're just there for a minute, and then you're just a placeholder for the next person. The almost fantasy. Sometimes just let it go. It's not even that deep. Just let them go.
Yeah. And the one that is the ideal romantic partner, the one we all want, we call them the worthy hurt, because they chose you, you chose them, and basically they qualify everything you would say is a healthy relationship. They communicate, they are emotionally available, they are there for you, they meet all the ticks. Yes, they may have flaws because we are human, we're not perfect, but the thing is they are committed to the relationship. It feels nice, it feels happy, it feels healthy.